I think that anybody who's building a tiny house should be building it in a method that can be moved, because I believe that one of the functions of a tiny house is creating freedom from being anchored in one position. If you have a stick and brick house and you get a job in another state, it's could be very difficult to sell that and to move. At the same time, if you have a tiny house and you've got a couple of wheels and you put the wheels back on because you're keeping the sun off of them, and you hook it up to a truck and you drive it 3 states away and you lease a little bit of dirt for 6 months while you found a piece of land to buy, it's very easy. You create flexibility to go see the Grand Tetons or Yellowstone or whatever national park you might want to see. Flexibility in your life, I think for tiny home people is probably one of those things, because they want to experience life more than they want to experience the mortgage and, all the things that go with a mortgage and owning a stick and brick house and the maintenance anyways. So I believe that any tiny house really needs to be built on a trailer. In the state of California, it gives you a lot of flexibility that anything that's attached to the ground on a concrete slab is going to be an issue. I've heard that Oregon likes tiny homes, but they want it on a concrete slab. However, if it's on a trailer chassis, it's going to conform to Department of Transportation rules, like an RV would. You're just not going to, you're going to need to spend a little bit of time away with it if you want to conform exactly to what the letter of the law says. And I think that answered most of that.
What about addressing the concept of a hyper-movable tiny house? Remember, you were kind of saying, on that.
So the general form of a tiny home is to be built to stay in one position and function more of a home than an RV. And we talked about that in one of my other questions that I was answering. However, we have a model called the Explorer, and the structure that we're building, actually, I'll talk about that in a minute, gives you a phenomenal flexibility. The wall system that we're using literally weighs 1 pound per square foot. And so there's a very light structure that's going into these homes. And it makes it very flexible to move in the sense that it's easy to pull. Even with the large bulk, it's a lighter weight. And you can do that. But tiny homes, generally speaking, we want the features to be more fixed. And so it might take you more time to set up where you're going than it would an RV. But you can basically build anything you want. That's one of the beauties of a tiny home. There's no preconceived notion of the way you're going to do it. And we are building to suit people's lives, not have people's lives suit the home and pay a debt to, a bank or wherever that institution is that's going to take your money every month for 30 years of your life. So I'm Forrest at Tiny House Tool, and we're being crazy and answering questions about living different.